Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the PLNR radio podcast in quarantine this time. And
Woo!
we are finally joined by our first ever guest, the Big Ugly, as they call him, Justin Vallejo. Justin, how are you doing, man?
Doing great. Thanks for having me on the show.
No problem, man. So the main reason we wanted to have you on the show is not because you're our friend. That doesn't matter to us.
That's probably the last on the list because you're our friend.
Mutual,
Yeah.
the feeling.
We have a lot of people who, will ask us to be guests, and the main thing me and Nick say is, what do you have to offer? And for you, luckily, you have something to offer us, okay?
What do I have to offer for
Yeah,
you?
what? No, how about you say it? What do you have to offer us?
What do you think you have to offer us?
I mean, physically or I don't know.
Boy.
You can start with that. Go ahead.
I don't know. What is it that I have to offer for you guys?
Okay, now he's just being Justin.
All right. Well, obviously, we're very proud of you, okay, because you've been playing basketball professionally overseas for, would you say, a year and a half, 2 years? How long has it been?
2 years.
2 years. So, first question is, when did you make that decision to, obviously, not really get into the, you're a mass comm major, so kind of forego that and get into playing professional basketball?
I would probably say I think it was honestly after my junior year of college. I had a decent year, and I kind of thought to myself, I have a dual citizenship, so I might as well go and try and test the waters and see what it would be like if I can, get an agent. And I just try to take it step by step, getting an agent, and then having the agent get the contacts with teams, and then eventually getting my first contract. But I would say probably at the end of my junior year. I kind of felt like I had the confidence to play professionally in Europe.
You have a dual citizenship in Belgium, am I right with that?
No.
Hungary? What?
My dual citizenship.
Oh, France, right. Okay. French.
And
Cool.
can you tell us why you have that dual citizenship? Do you come from a French background? Is that correct?
Yeah, I was actually born with it because my dad's from France, and when he moved to the States, and he had my brothers and I, he made sure when we were all born, we had dual citizenships right away, which is actually a really big help because there's some people that I know that they had to wait an extra about like 6 to 8 months just to get their dual citizenship for the countries because it's a really long process. Honestly, it takes about a lot of times, depending on the country, it can take up to like over a year just to get your passport for another country. So that kind of helped me out a lot. That I was born with it.
This might be the wrong time to ask, but could we get your dad on the podcast? I know I've heard he's a professional highlight player. And for those who don't know the sport of highlight, very interesting. So I don't know, maybe – okay, we can talk about this later. This is the wrong time to bring it up. But, yeah, maybe –
I don't know that.
He had his time.
I mean, it's interesting. So,
did you ever get to watch maybe video or even in person when you were younger, your dad play highlight?
Yeah, it was kind of crazy. When
can you first explain what highlight is?
For people who don't know, which I mean, I'm sure most Americans don't know, like in our generation, but it was really popular back in the '90s in Miami. Everyone would go there and gamble on the games. Actually, a lot of it was dirty money from drug dealers that would go there on the weekends and just bet on all the players.
Montana.
Yeah, so it's a sport. It's kind of like racquetball with a basket, and the ball is kind of like a baseball. And it's the fastest sport in the world, actually. The ball goes almost 200 miles an hour. So it hurts pretty bad when you get hit with it. But I did see last time I was in France some different pictures I've never seen of my dad when he was playing, and I've seen some video too. And every time I go back to France when I was with my dad, he would actually take us to the games where he actually played, and it was kind of cool seeing them play, and then also like just hearing stories about him from like some of his friends and stuff. So it's kind of cool to kind of hear about that because he never really talks about it, honestly.
Well, he should.
Have you ever seen, watching either your dad or just in those other games, someone just get nailed by a ball? Because the ball's going like 200 miles an hour, so it's – I imagine something could happen.
They wear helmets.
They do. It's pretty –
They wear helmets.
Really? I thought that was a joke.
No, I'm serious. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, back to basketball. Sorry for that.
Yeah.
I just, sorry to derail this interview, but your dad played highlight, so.
But it's kind of cool. In my opinion, it's cool that he came to the States to play highlight professionally around, the same age that I went to play professionally in Europe. So it's kind of like a vice versa.
You're following your dad's footsteps.
Yeah.
Opposite.
See, that was what I was wondering. Since he was kind of a pro athlete at the same like young age, going really far away from his home. I wonder if that helped you like make your decision. So I'm assuming it did. I mean, he was probably pretty supportive with it.
Yeah, he gave me a lot of advice, especially when I was in Italy. Because honestly, it was really hard when I first got to Italy because no one spoke English there, and I was in a town the size of Demarest.
They didn't speak English? What did they speak?
I don't know, dude. It's called Italian, I think. I don't know. It's kind of weird.
Oh, like pizza and spaghetti and stuff like that?
I thought everyone spoke English in the world,
Yeah,
but,
they should.
Yeah, right. But it was hard, and I called him the first night, and he was telling me that when he moved to the state, or when he moved to Barcelona first, that he spent like the first week or so crying every morning because how hard it was when you move to another country. And so he was.
Is that what you did too?
That's what I was wondering.
I definitely cried the first week, about every single night.
Okay, not every.
That's weird, dude. You never told us that.
Yeah, I know, but it was really hard in Italy. But he really helped me get through that hump. It kind of reminded me of a little bit when you move to college, and the first couple might be hard, but it was really, there's no one spoke English, and it's kind of different when you can't relate to anyone.
Yeah, I remember in college, when I was definitely homesick, and then when Nick got there, I would walk by his room at night, and it would literally just be like crying in the middle of the night, and I was like, and this was like second semester too, so it was crazy.
Yeah.
Do you remember that, Nick?
Oh yeah, I mean, it was probably because it was the worst time of my life, and I got made fun of all the time.
Yeah, you did.
In the locker room, we all played basketball together. They used to chant my name and Nick sucks. So just to give you a little insight on my life for 4 years.
Look where you're at. Look where you're at now.
Yeah, I'm on a successful podcast talking to a European basketball player, professional player. Yeah. Anyway, so Justin, what do you think was the hardest getting acclimated in overseas? Is it the language difference? Is it their weird rules over there?
The
food.
The food was fine. The language was probably the hardest in Italy, but it was fine. And when I was in Austria, because I was in Vienna and everyone spoke English, and that wasn't a problem. But it was really weird actually in Spain because most people spoke English on our team, but our coach didn't speak any English. So it was really weird, like in timeouts and stuff. They try to translate what they're going to say or what the coach is saying, but we did have some problems actually at the beginning of the season. The Spanish players really didn't like any of the Americans on the team, so they would kind of have their own group and they would only speak Spanish to each other like during the games, just because they didn't like us at all. So it was kind of hard to deal with that at the beginning.
So I've heard you say, go ahead, Peyton. Excuse me.
No, it's your question, dude. Keep going.
No, go ahead. I was gonna derail us again.
After you. Justin, so I'm wondering if do you think that harmed your team's success? One, the players obviously kind of grouping up together, and then two, how did you communicate with the coach at the time then? Like, did you just get information from the other players who spoke a little English?
Yeah. I mean, eventually we actually had we lost like 5 games in a row. And the way that it's set up over there is you only play 1 game a week. So it was like losing for a straight month. So we all kind of got fed up with losing. And after one of the games we lost on the road, we all had like a players only meeting in the back of the bus. And we kind of just like talked everything out about how like they express how they feel about us, because if like us being Americans, we come over there, they take their jobs from them.
Correct.
And you know what I'm saying? And they think
that is what you did.
That the stereotype is that we just want to score the ball. We don't care about anyone else. And but we were all there to win, because you don't move halfway across the world to lose games. So we were able to fix that problem.
You do it for the money.
Yep, I knew Nick was going to say that. Nick was going to say if they paid him enough money, he would throw games, I bet.
Yep, he's all about the money, man. But we fixed the problem though.
That's good.
So just kind of go through a quick timeline of your pro career, and obviously you started in Italy. That's right, you started in Italy, right?
Yeah, so I started in Italy in August, and I think it was probably the beginning of November. I think it was when I decided, that it wasn't going to work out with this club. There's a lot of things going on off the court, as well as, I couldn't even talk to any of my teammates, coach. There's no way I could live there for 8 months. So decided to part with them and went to Spain in November. And I was there until April, the end of the season. Well, May, it ended in May at the end of the season, and then came back. And my agent was like, hey, there's a team in Austria who's really interested in you, and they're willing to pay, it was double what I was making in Spain. So of course, I was like, I'm going to hop on that and just at least see what it's like over there. So I went over to Austria, and I was there from August until the middle of February.
And which situation would you say was the best? And what did you deal with off the court and those other situations that kind of forced you to leave, if you want to talk about that?
Yeah, I would say the best situation overall was probably Austria. I had a good situation in Spain, but just the money wasn't as good. Which I'm not saying I want to be able to live comfortably, but the money was good in Spain, and my apartment wasn't very nice. I had to share it with like 2 other people. But in Austria, I was in the capital, so it was really, really nice. And I had my own apartment. My coach, he was fluent in English. I actually had a really good relationship with my coach, and everyone on the team was fluent in English. And I think the competition was a bit better in Austria as well.
So I think some people might have the connotation that professional basketball is always glamorous. So if I don't know if you want to touch on that real quick, I'm kind of saying that it's not very glamorous.
No, it's not. But that's, everybody, it's not just, I guess, with basketball, but, some people see people on Instagram or, social media, and they think, they're living the greatest life. They don't have any problems, but everyone has different problems. And over there, it's hard. It's really hard when, half of the day everyone's asleep back home. It's kind of hard to talk to your friends and family, and you do get homesick from time to time. And especially like when I was in Italy, like I said, no one spoke English. So like when you're just sitting there all day waiting around for practice, but you can't even hang out with anyone really because they're just going to be speaking in another language, it's kind of tough. So homesick is definitely a big part of it. And I kind of had a feeling that would happen going into it, but I just didn't know how bad it would be in Italy. But and then also, you do have to deal with it. There's a lot of pressure as an American to produce because there's a stereotype that person's American, so they're going to cost more money for the club. So
and you're better than everybody.
But I guess the thing is, like, they're pretty good over there in Europe. I don't think they're as bad as a lot of people think. If in my opinion, you look at the NBA, the MVP was from Greece. Rookie of the year was from.
Yeah, but come on. What other people in Greece look like Giannis? Okay.
I'm just saying. All 3 of the major individual awards in the NBA were all Europeans this past year. So
one year. What about the other years, bro? They were all American.
I'm just saying, Nick. I'm just saying.
Who was? Wait, what were the other 2?
Luka
here was what's his name from France? The dude that got Corona. The first guy.
And Doncic.
Oh yeah, Rudy.
But I'm just saying that. So the players, but you do have pressure on you, and I still remember like, in college, even if we had a bad game, Danielle would still try to write things like if we lost, but like in a kind of positive way. Over there, if you have a bad game, like they would rip us, especially if you're American. Like it was bad, and then also you have fans that because they pay money, and we're their entertainment for Sundays. So if you don't play well, they're going to be upset. And sometimes they would send players home, and if they're not producing, it happened to a couple guys in Austria that they weren't producing the first couple months they were there, and they got sent home at Christmas. So there's a lot of pressure too that I don't think people understand athletes have. But at the end of the day, it's a job though. So, you're getting paid for it. So there has to be pressure.
What was the worst thing that you did? Like you said that they write like kind of bad stuff if you have bad performance. Did you read anything about yourself that was bad?
Yeah, actually the first game I had in Spain. So
He's very ugly. He's very ugly.
they said how ugly, but my first game in Spain, when I get to Spain was on a Wednesday. We didn't have practice on I got there Wednesday night. Thursday was an off day for the team. It was just like a weightlifting session. Then Friday we had practice. I had a game Saturday. So I only had one practice with the team. I had to learn all these new plays, new system. I have no idea how any of the players play, like what type of style they play, anything. And so I play on Saturday, and I had like 6 points. I barely touched the ball, and everyone saw, okay, this is an American coming, because it was in the middle, or it was like in 2 games into the season. So I came and it made me kind of think about these players who get traded, in the middle of the season. And I never thought about it before, but that's got to be kind of hard when you have to learn a whole new system that you've never, you're not used to at all. And so that first game I had like 6 points, and the paper, I can't remember what it was word for word, but it just kind of
read it in that language too, word for word.
I can't remember. But that was the first time I kind of looked at the paper, and I was like, man, like I've never had someone write something bad about me before in a paper or an article. But, yeah.
What was I just thinking about? What were we just talking about?
So Justin, what's next for you, man? So you came home right before the coronavirus, which you lucked out on that one. You could have got stuck over there, man.
Yeah, I know. I would have lost my mind.
Yeah, scary. But what's next for you, man? You're home, waiting out the virus.
Yeah, I think
home in the States, back in America, baby.
I am. I'm honestly really glad to be home. But my agent actually called me a couple of days ago, and then he messaged me, I think it was like yesterday or something like that, and he has a few more offers for me in Germany, but I think I'm done for now. I think I'm ready to just start a new career. And I even told myself when I graduated from college, I was like, this is something I only want to do for a couple of years. There's some guys who go over there and they play for 10 years, but it's kind of hard to have a life when you're over there for 8 months and then you come back here for 4 months, and there's not really any stability at all. So I think I'm ready to start my actual like professional job career now.
Can you compare the thrill of playing in a professional basketball game to the thrill of working at Publix grocery store?
No, throughout Publix, it's nothing like it. I kind of do a little countdown. 10, 9.
Oh boy.
6, the toilet paper 3. But yeah, the thrill over there is a lot better.
Pretty close then, huh?
Yeah, tough to.
So Nick touched on it earlier how the three of us played college basketball together, and I was wondering if you had a favorite memory of each one of us, or just a favorite memory in general, right. And it can be good or bad.
Okay, my favorite memory of you would definitely be when my freshman year, we're playing against Swanee at home. Pretty good crowd.
Yeah.
And I believe we're tied with like 10 seconds left.
Yep.
And you're just it's funny because I actually had the timeout before that. I didn't listen to one word coach in the huddle, so I had no idea what we were running. And
that was about 100% of the time though. So
I know someone just set a high ball screen for you, and I'm just like wandering around, like no idea what's going on. The sideline, and you throw some crappy layup right off the backboard. I grab it in midair. And I tip it in right before the buzzer goes off. I think there's like 1 second left as it went in, and that honestly that was my favorite memory, just because that was something between you and I. It was pretty cool.
That was a memory of you.
No, okay. Honestly,
no, but you were involved in it. That passes. That's acceptable.
First of all, it wasn't a bad shot. It was a pass to you.
Okay,
You're welcome.
It was not a pass.
Are you ready for it?
Yeah, go ahead. What did you say? Say it again.
Game. when we played Mercer. And
Okay.
first play of the game, you got the 2 points, but that guy came up there and volleyball spiked your little floater straight down to the ground was pretty insane.
He
That was
volleyball
really
spiked it. He volleyball spiked it illegally, and I got the 2
illegal.
points. So you're not allowed.
But that was a funny memory. And for me, for Nick, definitely at Averett.
I know where this is going.
It's a physical game. That was a really physical game, and Nick is just on the ground reaching for this guy's leg, blatantly trying to trip him. No, sees it. You're on the bench. That was definitely my
dude. I'm so glad you saw that. That's awesome.
Yeah, those are my 2 favorite memories.
So, comparing like college basketball to pro basketball, because I heard Luka Doncic say that he thought it was easier to score in Europe than in the NBA. And, I can basically think Division III is the NBA. Like, that's basically the NBA. So what was easier for you to play in like a D3 system or overseas? And which one did you enjoy more?
Well, it's funny. I actually had 3 different systems when I was overseas. Each country was kind of different, but I think Austria was the easiest for me just because, honestly, we had the best player in the country on our team. He was our 5-man, and so him and I were interchangeable. Like, he would shoot from the volleyball line. He actually played with Manu Ginobili for a year on the Argentina national team. He was a really, really good player, and he actually taught me a lot. So I think I fit in really well with that system. It was easier for me to score because a lot of the pressure was on him. So I would never really get double teamed or anything like that. So it was a lot easier for me to score when I was playing in Austria than I would say in college. There's a lot more pressure on me when I was playing in college with a lot more double teams.
Shut up, dude. There wasn't a lot of pressure on you in college.
You think you were so good.
Yeah, seriously, man.
I'm sorry. I know I wasn't very good. I'm just saying.
No, you're the best player that ever went there. But no, you were better than him. Jake Baldwin, I imagine he listens to this. You're not better than Justin. You never were.
Just get over it, man. All right?
Get over it,
Just
dude.
get over it.
I'm sick of the emails from you telling me that Justin, you were better than Justin, and I had all these points. Justin's the best of all time. But Justin, you talked about getting into your like professional career now, like your actual, like what you actually want to do. What do you want to do with the rest of your life?
That's a really good question because I don't really know.
You aren't ready for that.
It's honestly a toss-up between going into the communications field. There's some good jobs that are in Daytona, actually, that they were open, but I'm not sure what's going to happen now with the whole COVID situation. Mm-hmm. But that or either get into possibly high school coaching and teaching.
Oh, wow. High school coach. You think you'd be a good coach?
I would say.
Listen, very high basketball IQ. We all know this.
I think I was
me. You're saying me?
No, Justin.
I think my IQ would help out a little bit.
And who do you think was better? IQ. Who do you think was better at basketball, me or Nick?
That's a hard one, man. I don't know.
Oh.
I mean, there's only in this chat right now. There's only 2 all-conference players that's in this chat.
Okay, go ahead and put your hand up if you were all-conference. Yeah. Okay. Now put your hand up if you were the heart of a lion.
Teammate of the
award winner.
All right, I think this interview's over.
Nick, do you have any would you rathers for Justin?
Yeah, I actually do have one would you rather for this professional
go.
Basketball player. You ready?
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Justin, would you rather smell like a fart for the rest of your life or have to drink one poop milkshake?
Like actual physical feces milkshake.
Yes, with a scoop of vanilla in there to make it nice and milkshake.
Who gives you these, man?
One time and that's it.
Yeah, one poop milkshake.
Or I smell like a fart for the rest of my life.
Yeah, Justin.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go with the poop milkshake.
Oh, my gosh.
Easily, not even close.
Easily?
Yeah, that's not
a day.
You might die. You might die.
Yeah, but you might as well kill yourself if you smell like a fart. No one's going to want to be around you.
You can marry somebody that doesn't have a smell, that can't smell. That's a thing.
That's stupid. It's not about – what if you're in a job interview and you just smell like a fart? You think you're going to get that job?
I think that should be the headline on your resume. I have a condition where I smell like a fart. Then they can't do anything.
Yeah, but you drink the poop milkshake, and then it's done.
You vomit your brains out.
Yeah, you don't smell like a fart, and then later on in life, you can be like, "Yeah, I had this crazy choice I had to make, and I drank a poop milkshake," and you can talk about it.
Yeah, that was my would you rather. Thanks for answering.
You've been really bad at would you rather. That's a terrible one.
That was a really bad would you rather, Nick.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I've heard better from you. I'm a little disappointed, honestly.
All right, well, does Peyton have one?
No, I don't.
No, he doesn't have one. Yeah, because I come up with the material. That's me in this podcast.
Justin, I can't even think now. Oh, do you have one that you want? Do you have any that you wanted to share? Any off the top of your head you can think of?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, exactly. I'm the one with all of the.
I'd rather say nothing than something stupid.
That's a good point.
The whole time you were talking was stupid. So hypocrite.
On podcast then.
Justin, one last question. Over your career playing, professional, any age, who would you say is the best player you played with in your career?
Would you be offended if I didn't say you?
No, he shouldn't be because that's the correct answer.
That is the correct answer.
The truth is, the best player, his name's Fabrizio Ve in Austria. The guy that played with Ginobili. He played in the G League for a while, and he was really, really good. He actually he averaged, I think it was 24 points, 8 assists, and 13 or 14 rebounds a game. He was a really good passer for me. We actually did a lot of ball screens together. So I think we had a really good chemistry, especially when I first got there. We never played with each other, and we played right away. And I thought the team chemistry with him was really good.
Okay, so me and you did a lot of pick and rolls too, so that was stupid. Probably better looking than him. I don't get why
he's Argentinian.
Some guy. Oh, Argentinian. Cool. There's no ugly Argentinian people.
No. Nope.
I don't know if I'm buying that.
Beautiful man.
Hey, have you ever been over there? He has.
I have been to Argentina.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. When I was
He's lying.
When I was – can I talk?
No, because you're a liar.
No, when I was a junior in high school, going into my junior year of high school, I went on a tour. A tour of South American countries. Why are you laughing?
Oh, yeah, a tour of South American countries, huh?
Yo!
You went to Chile?
Dude, good news. Zoom just sent me a GIF saying that they're removing the 40-minute time limit, and we can go as long as we want.
I'm sorry,
all
man.
Right, hey, I think I'm done with this.
I'm just joking. All right, but anyways, Justin, we really appreciate you joining us, being our first guest. I'd say
miss you, Justin. I miss you.
Okay.
You guys.
Give you a B. But anyways, thank you guys for joining us. Finally get a little video, and we'll see you next time.